Hello everybody, welcome to another one of my videos. Thank you for tuning in. And in this one, I wanted to just talk about just something that has just made me really happy in the past several months. That just, you know what, I feel a lot more helpful to others now than I ever did when I was a JW. Well, referring to the preaching work as a JW. You know, like, now looking back, I would tell something good for the JWs that they probably never really truly consider. I would make a good bet that they don't, like, a lot of householders, the vast majority of people, the people you're preaching to are just, I would say it's not out of meanness or hatred, they're just plain not interested. Like, for us to go to their door to try to preach to them, well, for the Jehovah's Witnesses to go to their door to try to preach to them, sorry, it's like if I was a householder, I'm like, I'd be like, I thought, like, what would my view be? I'm like, okay, I did not invite you here. I was not expecting you here. You were not welcome to come here. So it just makes me relate why a lot of them can be more mean or rude to tell them not to come. Or I think a lot of them, they're just driven to the point more often that they just don't answer their door, period. But then it also, like, that thought of, like, the householder doesn't want the Jehovah's Witness there. It's like that. It plays into why a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses find motive to keep preaching, because they know to expect a lot of disinterest and apathy. To them, the more hated they are and the more persecuted they are, the more they believe, as they're taught to believe, that they must have the truth. It's just such, like, twisted reasoning. Like, you know what, as a Jehovah's Witness, like, you're totally programmed and given scripts of how to preach to people in the ministry. Like, every week we used to have a kingdom ministry, these little, like usually about 4 pages, sometimes a little bit bigger. Yep, I remember those. And they used to have sample presentations in each of them. And then at the service groups, the brother taking the group would usually go over that sample presentation. I used to really like those at the start when I joined the Jehovah's Witnesses, because it helped me, because I was a type, like, I would have never been able to come up with my own presentation. Just tell me what to say. But then by the years that I was finally waking up and eventually left, I wasn't even rehearsing any kind of presentations. I would just offer them like a tract at the door. Like, I had gotten to the point where I just, like, I'm not even going to try to do a presentation, just fake knock or offer a tract right away, because, like, as soon as you do it kind of that stupid way, they're not interested. Yeah, I was, my effort was really lacking. Like, I honestly should have gotten in trouble but never did get in trouble, kind of thing, with taking that approach. Or I think, like I have just famously said now, my favorite approach was always just writing a letter or finding creative ways and opportunistic ways to try to just leave literature in public places. But you know what? Now that I'm out of the Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm much more free to tell people the real truth rather than being told what to say at the doors. Well, I mean, I don't go door to door anymore. Thank goodness. But it's freed me from just like a work I never wanted to do, and I know so many of them still I know they don't want to do it. So I no longer have to fake happiness or a fake smile like I'm putting on a front, especially if you go out preaching as a Jehovah's Witness, and you would be expected to do that very much. I'm no longer fooling myself into thinking that I'm waking people up spiritually as a Jehovah's Witness at their door, when in effect they're actually putting people to sleep spiritually, because their primary goal is like, oh yeah, don't let that friendly smile and face fool you. If their primary goal is to convert you and to just put you in a little cage in a box spiritually, but making you think that you found the truth and you're free and you've got the ultimate happiness now. Like, yeah, right. I'm no longer under any kind of pressure to meet a certain number of hours per month. Trust me, with a lot of witnesses, it's about getting the hours. Like, it's not about how much literature they place or how many people they talk to. It's about making the hours. So I'm no longer under pressure to place a certain number of magazines per month or show a certain amount of videos per month. That's something that I remember when we got to that point in the preaching, when that kind of thing was introduced, I never bothered to try to do that. I was uncomfortable to take my tablet door to door, to be frank. I don't have to worry anymore about feeling blood guilty that I didn't save somebody. I just think that is, when I heard that, and in my own head, I'm like, that is so right. That is so correct. Like, it's not for them. For a lot of them, deep down, they'll never admit it, but it's not about saving people. It's about not being blood guilty, and they're preaching because they have to, not necessarily because they want to. And I don't have to bother people at their homes anymore who don't want us there anyways. Like, no more getting yelled at or doors slammed in my face. Like, Jehovah's Witnesses are leading people into Babylon the Great, not out of it. And you know what? I just thought the other day, it reminds me of another religion that I'm thinking of, the Mormons, how just how they go door to door trying to add to the Bible, which is a red flag for a false religion or a cult. As the Book of Mormon is not truly inspired. Like, they'll use a King James Bible as a front, but it's really about the Book of Mormon. Whereas the Jehovah's Witnesses are similar. The Bible they use in the ministry is a false Bible, a very bad translation. It very much misrepresents what the Bible really teaches. So, man, like, there's so many that they think they're doing such a great, wonderful work, and they're really not. Like, they're not. It brings me a much greater sense of inner peace to know that I'm no longer contributing to misleading and misguiding others by trying to convert them into a cult with a horrible Bible. I'm essentially would be trying to lead them down the broad path, not the narrow path. And just with making these videos, I feel I get the chance to let my voice be heard, because people are now more free to watch my videos as they please and come on their own, come and go as they're pleased, rather than me being an annoying lady who shows up at your door unexpectedly and just tries to get certain literature in your hand. And meanwhile, and yes, this is an attitude that every Jehovah's Witness will have, it's this mindset of, here, look at my Bible and books, and I want you to take all my magazines and my books that represent my religion, but don't you dare try to talk to me about your religion or try to offer me literature about your religion. Like, no, this is all about my religion, not yours. Like, what a very narrow-minded mindset. Like, would it be fair to say a lot of what the Jehovah's Witnesses are taught to, how they're taught to act in the ministry and what to say, like they're not in their right minds? So it's, like, I just feel so much more happier. I really do, just to be telling people the real truth. I'm no longer wasting my time trying to preach as a Jehovah's Witness and never waking up to the fact that what I'm doing is actually a very bad work, not a very good work. So, there you go. I'd like to thank everybody for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I hope you guys all have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.